Can I say something? I was just listening to everybody.
Go ahead,
Sorry.
baby. Go ahead.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be rude.
No, go ahead, baby.
I don't want to jump. I mean, I understand where Amir is coming from. Amir, I definitely can understand that. But I really think that everything begins from the both, not just one parent, but both parents. I don't
Me
think there
too.
should just be one discipline person, going back to Ines when you said, hey, your wife's car is dirty or this. I do believe that yes, you should probably talk to your children, but I also believe that your wife or your ex or should talk to the children and they should have respect for her, because the respect that they give, they should have it. So my children, I will tell you, my husband's white, I'm Mexican, I grew up very, very tough, and I have installed in my kids that you respect your elders, you respect your parents, you respect everybody. I if my car is there, it's my property. I expect you to respect it. Just like when you were saying you had a child that was rude, that was yelling and screaming, I bring that on the parent because the parent should address it. It shouldn't have been you. And it's unfortunate that parents nowadays, they fear the fact that, oh, I'm going to call DCF or I'm going to call child support, child services. A parent, as a parent, and I'm going to tell you, as a parent, I don't care if you're going to call them. I'm going to give you the damn phone. Call them. I'm still going to smack you. I'm still going to take care of you. I'm going to address it the way I think it should. I'm not saying I'm going to abuse you, but I'm going to make sure you're taken care of. I'm going to make sure that you're going to be, I'm not going to raise a spoiled brat. I'm going to raise an adult. I'm not, that's just me personally. The respect comes from home when the parent teaches them. And you, as a parent, have to be the one to install that to your child, to teach them right from wrong. You need to start from the beginning to tell them, hey, that wasn't right. There's consequences to your actions, and this is what we're going to do about it. And you talk to them. And they shouldn't just fall on one parent. Oh, I'm going to talk to your dad because your dad's stronger. I'm going to talk to your mom because your mom's strong. No, I don't agree with it. It's both of you. Both of
It's
you. And if
a
you both need
unified
to
front.
sit down and do it together. But come to a compromise. Don't just say, well, one person doesn't agree, the other person doesn't agree. So, oh, therefore, we don't know what to do it. So we're just going to point fingers at each other. That's not the way it works. It doesn't work that way. And you know what?
But
When
it's
both parents
difficult.
can't compromise, it becomes an issue.
Yeah, but it's difficult to compromise if you're not in the same household. So basically,
That's true.
that's where the problem came because we weren't in the same household. So when if I'm not there, and if I'm not there in their house, I'm in my own house. They come to my house, they respect my house. They go to, they live with their mom, they do whatever. The issue was, and I pointed this out to her many times, she was more interested in being their buddy, their best friend, instead of being their mother. And she couldn't understand, to up to today, when I talk to her, we still get in a heated conversation and say, you chose to be their friend and not their mother. Had you been more of their mother and some of their friend, we'd be all right. We wouldn't have some of the issues. And she actually listens, so she's actually coming to grips with that some 20 years later, understanding that you're a parent first. And that's the problem with most of today's parents. They have no that if you open up the dictionary for those people that have children, parents not even in their dictionary. They can't even find that word because they don't understand what a parent is. They don't understand it is their job to mold and to be a role model and to guide them. And if they start going down a path, the wrong path, you grab them by the scruff and say, no, 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 this path, on this path, that way. And they'll have some resentment, but they always you listen to the stories of successful people, and they thank their parents for grabbing their hand on certain occasions to make sure they didn't go down this path and they went down that path. So, and that's all I'm trying to do. Like, it's not too late. My kids are 22 and 20, but I see there's still like a lot for me to do. Like, I had the conversations with my daughter. Do you understand the role of a wife? Do you want to be a wife? Yeah, I want to be a wife. Like, well, what's wifely duties? How do you complement? How do you find the man? How do you find someone that's for you, someone that's not gonna, so you don't end up like the rest of society and what's going on today. We have these conversations. We're starting to have these conversations and getting her to understand. Just because you're 22, just because you're in college and you don't know it all. And she gets upset when she starts talking, and I tell her, hey, hold on, I don't care what you say, I don't care what you stop.
But see,
I'm
that
not
leads
gonna
to
let.
communication.
No, it
it's the
doesn't. It doesn't.
you have
No,
to
it doesn't.
communicate between both of you, even though you don't live. You
You
have to
do.
both
Hold
communicate.
on, hold on a second. You're doing what my daughter's doing right now. You're just instantly replying to me to tell me what and this is what's happening now. It's taken a little bit. She's actually starting to listen now and see that I'm not trying to do her wrong. So she has an opinion. I said, I know you have opinions. Everything you're giving me opinion about, I've done already. So you have a choice. You're going to learn from your father, or you're going to take your opinion and you can go up the road with it. You're becoming a big woman now. So I want you to be successful. You have a choice. So, and this is, and in doing this, what happens is, because I can speak to her and guide her, that man that comes along that wants to marry her and guide her and teach her can do this, because because now she understands, she's been taught how to listen, um, and comprehend what's going on, not get offended by someone who says, no, I don't like chicken like that, or whatever, something simple. She learns, the submissiveness comes in, but she learns how to be a woman, and she learns how to be a wife, and she learns how to, just so she can have a successful family. My ex-wife and I didn't have a successful family because we couldn't put those two things together. My ex-wife was a modern woman, made lots of money, in charge, and she, as far as she's concerned, because she made the most money, she didn't have to listen to me. So, and that's where we went wrong. So I'm just teaching this to my daughter. I'm the man. I'm your father. I'm the man. I'm going to show you tons of respect. I'm not going to stomp on you or mistreat you. I'm going to hug you. I'm going to love you. But there are certain things that you need to sometimes shh, listen, and then we go down the road together successfully. So hopefully the man she marries, she goes down the road with successfully.
I I kind of agree, but I don't agree 100%. I'm sorry.
I know
I've
you
been married.
don't.
I'm
I know
married,
you don't.
and I'm gonna tell you, I'm married, been with my
Mhm.
husband for going on 18 years.
Mhm.
So I feel like I have something successful here. Um, we've been married going on 14 years. So with that being said, yes, I do think that we should listen, but I also feel like there should be some type of communication. You have to communicate with each other and you have to agree. And there's going to be disagreements. We're not always going to agree. You know what? And there are times you have to walk away and you have to come back and talk. But I don't agree that you should just that's your wifely duty. I don't agree with that. I
No, I
just
didn't
think
say
that,
that.
you know,
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. You learn where it's needed for you to speak up. I'm gonna give you an example of my grandparents. And I was telling this to Kelly. My grandma and grandpa used to sit out on the porch for hours. My grandpa would read his newspaper. My grandma would knit, do her knitting. And they say nothing to each other. They were married to death do them part. They say nothing. They had the best relationship ever. We didn't want for anything. And it wasn't like today's lady. You need to vocalize everything. You need to tell me what you feel. And I watch my grandparents. I'm like, wow, how did they get like all of this? And the communication was there though, but it wasn't. There was no need to. I am woman. Hear me roar. It just wasn't necessary. It wasn't necessary.
To be self-aware, more do some introspection on us, like we're not perfect, and some people could say this is my marriage and this is what worked for me, but that's in your situation, and then we cannot try to put that into someone else's where the situation has been totally different. And you know I heard Amira saying earlier that in her culture, for example, um they don't, the women that get divorced, correct me if I'm wrong, because that's the way I understood, women that get divorced don't get child support or alimony. Was that correct?
It just it depends on the situation, honestly. I mean, most of us don't divorce anyway, but yeah, we're supposed to have the children go to the father after a certain age.
Right. But I'm thinking, like, if is that a reason why divorce don't happen that much, that often?
You know
That's a
what?
factor.
It could
It's a
be.
factor.
It could be.
It is a factor. And hey, if it was the case, and women here wouldn't be going with benefits so easily. I would say, I don't think it's easy, but in a way, that's why they just decide to walk out. But that's also preventing these women from going. And at the end, like, if you were married with someone for so long and then you don't have nothing, might as well just stay, you know? So it's kind of like understanding from, I like to kind of like think out of the box, and just put it like, hey, this was my situation and this is the best that I can do with my situation. So everybody else's opinion is just an opinion, it's not a fact. You know, it's just their opinion based on what they live, their experience. And I think it's about us considering where you at, the way that you live, and wanting to do things better. Ruby, for example, hey, Ruby, you have done great by leaving all that you were before, you know, and doing the things that you did. And you say, hey, this is not you anymore. Right. And I personally had to say, I wasn't the responsible person that I am before my daughter. So a lot of people could say, you know, oh, it is a mistake. Now you don't have. No, it's not a mistake. You know what? Don't let your mistakes define you, because that's not who you are. Your traumas, don't let your traumas define you. Try to change them, because that's what it is for. It's like change, and they're meant to be broken, you know, or break. So it's about changing and try to be better with who we are and learn from others. Like, I'm here with each of you, and I've learned something from each of you. That's what it's about. I don't try to compete whose culture is better, whose lifestyle is better. No, I'm here to learn from each person that I'm with.